It's like 8:30 in the morning. The winds really died this morning, so it wasn't windy overnight. At least the tent wasn't blowing around. I didn't need the extra stakes in. I realized I forgot to get a campsite last night, so I'm going to do that this morning. And I'm already running behind. It's like 8:40, and I don't have a tent site down, so do that very quickly this morning. Just have a quick breakfast. Let's get something booked for tonight. Okay, I got tent site booked. Got one. We're all good for tonight. Let's get the site down. I'm hungry. Alright, it took about 30 minutes. I got the campsite down. One thing I didn't think about was when I pulled out all the tent stakes, I had to clean off this like dry clay off of them, which I guess shouldn't have been that surprising since that's the White River. Hold on. That's the White River over there. What do you want? It's the dry season. You're not going to see much. But yeah, that makes sense why it's dry clay in the dry season. The river's all the way over there. So I just had to clean it up a little bit. But tent site's down. You've seen me boil water enough times. I'm just going to make breakfast and then we can head out. After packing up the campsite, I drove back towards the Badlands, which residents get free entry to as it's the only road that connects the local communities to the interstate. The first stop of the day was at the Badlands Visitor Center, which is near the edge of the park. Here you can get your park passport stamped just outside the building. Inside, they have a 3D map of the entire park, as well as a bunch of old fossils in the museum. However, even though we're close to Dinosaur National Park, there are no dinosaurs in the Badlands. After looking at displays of what animals do live in the park, as well as the local populations, you have to exit through the gift shop. Just a short drive up the road from the visitor center is the first hiking point of the day. A relatively simple hike in the upper prairie. Just be sure to look out for some small animals in the bushes. While this hike is Panda approved, there are quite a few steps, but the views are entirely worth it to get right up close to the mountains. Driving back north to the interstate end of the park, you ascend back up and see Upper Prairie to see the picturesque Badlands. From the top of the road, you see the most famous part of the Badlands, a sea of boulder fields filled with striped rocks. Here the boulder field separates the suspiciously flat upper plains from the incredibly flat lower prairies. Leaving the Badlands, I drove to the Minuteman Missile Historic Site, which is just on the other side of the interstate from the park's entrance. I guess that's why I couldn't get a ticket for a tour. I don't remember seeing anything on the website. Oh well, I guess we'll keep going today. We got another national park to go to. Backtracking through Rapid City, I drove through South Dakota's finest roadworks, and just as the clouds began to overcast, I made it to one of the most famous sites of Harley Davidson. It is a Monday, and Harley dealers aren't really known to be open on Mondays. Driving west, I finally entered Wyoming, and immediately turned south. There it is. There it is. You see it? Even though the main parking lot outside the visitor center was packed, I still got an incredible spot. Inside the visitor center, you can learn more about the history of the tower, as well as a closer look at the basalt that makes it up. You can also see all of the climbing gear that people use to summit the tower. Devil's Tower is also a big sky park, meaning there's little light pollution in the area, giving incredible portraits at night. Outside the visitor center is the other passport stamps, as well as a custom one for Devil's Tower.
This is the best what?
Outside the visitor center is also the climber registration area, where all you have to do is fill out one sheet and you're free to climb the tower. The trail around Devil's Tower is very easy and flat at just over 1 mile. It's also very panda friendly. Similar to Mount Rushmore, Devil's Tower's base is surrounded by a boulder field. It's the Vegas effect where it never gets smaller, it just gets further away. Where are the aliens? I thought they'd be here. The tower is classified as a basalt column, and while the columns themselves are not unique to the tower, they are unique in their size, as these are the largest basalt columns in the world. It's also a monadnock, my favorite type of mountain. It just means it's standing alone. Pretty cool. It's not a tree. I didn't bring my long lens because it's so big. There's climbers up there. I don't think you'll be able to see them, but around the back of the tower are hidden caves where rock has fallen out of the wall, and inside you can hear bats. As the tower as a whole is like the local populations, as you walk around the trail, you'll notice tons of prayer cloths and prayer bundles attached to trees. I would definitely move counterclockwise along this trail, because right now we're on this bit here where you walk away from the mountain, and you don't really get much of a view of it. I mean, it's nice. You can see it back there. But it's entirely obstructed by forest the whole way around. Definitely go counterclockwise. It starts better, then you can just hike this a little bit, and then the view gets better. Counterclockwise. As the clouds became overcast again, I headed out to the campsite, a KOA just outside the park's entrance. Hi. We're here checking to a campsite for the night. I know it's like 5, so I didn't know if it would be outside yet.
This whole tenting back here,
Yes,
you
ma'am?
pick your own site.
Oh.
If you don't like what you get, it's your fault, not mine.
So I am the only person camping here. This entire field is all tent sites, and they're all weirdly placed. No wonder she said you just pick your own. There's just benches and fire pits in the middle of a field and trees, but there's nobody here, so I just picked this one, and it has an incredible view. I guess I'll have a better view once the sun goes down, but it looks like I got a bit more sunlight than I thought. I definitely should have stayed longer because the sun came back out. It would have been great pictures. I have a bit more time to cook than I thought. So I'm gonna put the camera down, put my tent set up somewhere so I can see the tower. Okay, one thing I'm gonna do while there's nobody here is they have teepees over there. All of these. You can rent those for the night. And since there's nobody there, let's go see if they're open. Just for fun. The way these are set up makes me think it's like a group thing, but each one has a picnic table. Oh, they look open. That one's definitely open. There's a big communal fire ring here, which makes me think this is like a group site thing. But nobody is set up here. There's electricity in here. They're a little tight, okay. It's not on. It's just a big bed, that's the only thing in here. It's just a bed. This would be pretty weird to spend a night in. Ginormous spider over there. Yeah, I think I would rather my own tent than rent one of these teepees. I wonder how much they are, but I do not want to do this. Maybe it's more fun as a group. But yeah, I would much rather do it. Which I'm going to go set up now. Finally. Okay, I got the tent site set up. If you want to know how long it took, you extrapolate the time lapse. I didn't measure. It is colder now. It's giving me like a 50-50 if it's gonna rain tonight, but it's gonna get down into the 40s. So I got the tent set up to be warm. Got my long clothes pulled out to be warm, but it's not like that cold yet. So I don't know how cold it's gonna get tonight. Also, the sun went down, so I'm gonna get some nice pictures of the monument, and then probably get work on dinner. I don't have much food left. I need to go to the store tomorrow, so I'm just gonna do one of those pre-cooked meals, just boiling water again. But they're fine, and they're a lot of food. So I'm gonna get some pictures before it gets dark, and then try again after dark. But since it's gonna be foggy and rainy tonight, probably not gonna see any stars, even though that'd be cool. Photoshop it in later. All right, let's get some pictures. Lasagna is part of the Clean Bag Club. I'm still hungry though. Alright. I gotta like these orange cups to eat. These have been in my car for a while. Let's get these eaten before they get more jostled around. I'm just hungry for one.